somebody, a lady, sent me a message about a week ago now, and I hadn't had a chance to answer her, so I thought I would let you know all about it right now. This lady was wondering, how does a rent-to-own work exactly? I mean, just give it to me, Whitney. How does a rent-to-own work? That's what I'm about to tell you. All right, so let's first clarify so that we're all speaking the same language. Rent-to-own in real estate is basically a lease option. And a lease option is basically a rent-to-own. Okay? You could call it a lease option, a rent-to-own, a lease, well, not a lease purchase, because that is different. But you could call it lots of different things. You could even confuse it with owner financing. Basically, a rent-to-own is I'm going to rent this house every single month for the next, well, it depends on if you're buying it or selling it. When I am buying a house on a rent-to-own or a lease option or owner financing, I tell the seller that I'm going to be making the payments. I'm going to be a glorified tenant for the next 5 or 10 years. And then I have the right to buy the house anytime in those 5 or 10 years. All right? So they can't sell it to anybody else. It's mine. It's my house. I control the house. I am renting to own the house. I make payments every single month going towards me purchasing this house. On the flip side of that, when I sell these houses with a rent to own, because that's how we make the money, honey, I give the people moving into my houses, I give them 1 or 2 years to rent the house before they have to own it. All right? In those 1 or 2 years, the people that are living in this house that I have under control from my seller, they pay me every single month. They are improving their credit. They're establishing their job history. They're waiting 2 years to get a W-2 or a W-9 or whatever it is that you have to get a mortgage. They're good people. And they just need a chance to usually improve their credit or show that they're good for the mortgage payments. So that's pretty much how a rent-to-own works. Me, when I'm going in, I'm talking to my sellers, I say, look, I'm going to be renting this house for the next 5 or 10 years. I'm going to be buying it at the end of those 5 or 10 years. You don't have to worry about anything in the meantime, Mr. Seller. And then, when I'm selling it, I'm telling my tenant buyers, pretty much, that they can have 1 or 2 years to make the payments and buy the house. In the meantime, I try to train my tenants that if anything goes wrong in the house, you are becoming a buyer. And when a buyer has a mortgage on a house, they don't call the bank if the toilet gets clogged up. So don't call me. All right? I am training my people to become homeowners. Now, that being said, I have purchased about 35 houses in the last 3 or 4 years doing a rent-to-own deal or doing a lease option or doing owner financing, some sort of creative real estate financing. On the flip side of that, out of those 35 houses that I've purchased, I've sold them all at least once on a rent-to-own. Most of them I have sold 2 or 3 times because I have it set up so that I have 5 or 10 years to pay off this seller, right? I know that I'm going to have a balloon payment due in the next 5 or 10 years. So if I'm buying the house for $100,000, every month, hopefully, I'm getting whatever I pay out in rent off my purchase price, especially in owner financing. But in a rent to own, maybe if I'm paying $1,000 a month, maybe I'm only getting 20% per month towards my purchase price. So let's say I'm buying it for $100,000 and 20% of the $1,000 that I'm paying out every month is going towards my purchase price. So that's $200 a month times 12 months. That's $2,400. Okay, because if you pay the bank every month $1,000, you're not getting $1,000 off your purchase price, right? That's just not how it happens. When you have a mortgage, that's just not how it happens. So usually when I'm buying my houses, I don't get full credit every month either. All right. But very realistically, let's say that I'm getting 20% of my payment every month off my purchase price. So if I'm paying $1,000 and I'm buying the house for $100,000 and 20% every month goes off my purchase price, every 12 months, 12 times 200, that's $2,400. So every year, $2,400 comes off that $100,000 that I owe. All right, so I owe $100,000, and then a year later, $2,400. 100 minus 2,400, 97.6, I think. And then after 2 years, another 12 months, another 2,400 comes off. Another 12 months. So let's say after 10 years, a 20% per month and $1,000 a month. After 10 years, I should have paid off $24,000 of that original $100,000 purchase price, right? So now I owe my seller $76,000 in 10 years. Does that make sense? In 10 years, I'm going to owe $76,000 on this house using very straight line math, okay? Don't get complicated on me, ladies. $76,000 in 10 years to me sounds like no big deal. And let me tell you why. That is my selling side. I'm sorry, that is my seller side. That is my buying side. But over here, where I'm selling the house, where I'm giving my tenant buyers the right to move into this house, this is where we're going to make the money, honey. Okay? So, over here, when I'm selling the house, when I'm giving a rent to own back out to my tenants, my tenant buyers, let's say I'm selling them the house for $120. Okay, because it's worth $120. I got a really good deal. I bought it for $100, but I'm selling it for $120. At $120, they will give me, let's say, $10,000 to move in. And let's say I give them a year to get their mortgage. So month one, year one, they gave me $10,000 to move in. And let's say I charge them $1,200 a month in their payment. All right. So these people are covering the $1,000 that I agreed to pay. And I'm making $200 a month. Right? So they give me $10,000 to move in. I put that in HIP National Bank, which is your pocketbook. Maybe your pockets in your Levi's. I don't know. They give me $1,200 a month, which covers my payment to my seller, and I get $200. Then, if they get a mortgage in the first year, they're going to be giving me $115, because when people give me $10,000, the first $5 of it is mine. Does not go towards their purchase price at all. No way, no how. So they still owe me $115 in a year. But I owe $97. So if they get a mortgage in that first year, I'm going to make $18,000 in a back-end payday. Plus that other $10,000 that they gave me. So that's $28,000, and that $200 a month, which we know is $2,400. So $18,10. I made $30,000 on this house in the first year if my first tenant buyers buy it. My first rent to own people buy it. Out of the 35 houses that I bought and the 35 to 70 deals that I've done selling these houses, only one has purchased it in the first 15 months. So that means after the first year, the people in the house usually just get distracted and they leave. I get the house back, I put it back out on the market, somebody else gives me $10,000, and we do the whole thing again. That's how a rent-to-own works. So after 10 years, there's a potential that I could have had 10 tenant buyers come into this house. And if they all gave me $10,000, now at the end of 10 years, I have $100,000 sitting in my bank account because everybody gave me $10,000 and I kept it in Hip National Bank instead of going to Vegas on it, right? So that means at the end of 10 years, I owe my seller $76,000, but I have $100,000 in the bank. So at the end of 10 years and my balloon payment is due with my seller, I just say, great, let me write you a check. Because for those 10 years, I gave somebody the right, the opportunity, the hope, the dream of home ownership. And they gave me $10,000 to move into this house, and then they left me. But they left me with their non-refundable option fees. So I'm literally using those other people's money to pay off this house. I use those tenant buyers' money to make my payment every single month. Now, after 10 years, I have a house for free that should be worth, I paid $100,000 for it, remember? And I made payments for 10 years, but I've been selling it for $120,000 for 10 years. After 10 years, it's probably worth $130,000. So I literally, by doing a rent to own as the buyer and then as the seller on a property that I controlled with the paperwork that I have in place, I just got a $130,000 house with none of my own money involved, none of my credit. I didn't ever go to a bank. I didn't have to deal with a real estate agent or getting my license. I don't know about you, but I'll take as many $130,000 houses as I can get for free. It happens like this all the time. All right, literally that example that I gave you, I have done that deal probably 6 times so far. And I have, as of right now today, I have 6 houses paid off free and clear in my name that I didn't have to front the cash for. I got it from somebody else. But not like in a private money lending situation where I had to give it back to them plus interest. No. All mine. All right, rent-to-owns are beautiful. It's a beautiful way for you to be able to buy houses, which I teach women how to buy investment houses all across the country. It's a great way for you to control properties without having to go to the bank and getting a mortgage and all this other stuff that people are brainwashed to think they need to do. But rent-to-owns are also really good for the people that are moving into the area and need somewhere to live. They want to live in a nice, good, safe house. And I'll tell you guys, out of everybody that has left me with any of my houses, a lot of times they call me and apologize. Whitney, I'm so sorry we're not going to be able to buy that house from you. Whitney, I'm so sorry, but he got transferred and we got to go. Whitney, I'm so sorry, but my sister just bought a new house and she needs somebody to come take care of her, so I'm going to leave. And y'all, people apologize to me when they move out of their houses. People want to buy these houses from me. They don't leave because of the house. Something just comes up and they leave. So if you're wanting to become a lady landlord, if you're wanting to get into real estate and have some fun with it, I teach women how to do this all the time, all over the country. I actually teach the step-by-step steps to getting this done. I'll give you the paperwork, I'll give you the contracts, I'll give you the marketing, I'll give you the scripts, I'll give you everything that you need so that you can find a honey hole in your market and get these deals done. You can create passive income with rent-own deals. You can create a massive empire with rent-to-own deals. You can go from owning 2 or 3 houses to owning 15 or 20 in less than a year. There's a bug. It's all totally possible, and I would love to help you. Go to whitneynicely.com, and find out what I got available. I've got a self-study program called First Deal Done Fast. I've got some group coaching called FDDF Plus. I've got a mastermind of 20 women who are making at least 10 grand a month in passive income from real estate investing. I also do live events, but it's all on whitneynicely.com, so go check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop your questions down below so that I get some more ideas on videos that I can do to explain real estate to you. From one lady to another. I want to help you get your deals done fast.